Just how good are your glasses? Well, today we're about to find out because you guys have been submitting your own eyewear wardrobes. I'm going to be taking a look through them. I'm going to be seeing which pairs are amazing and where there might be some room for improvement. So hi, I'm Robert, Style and Vision Consultant here at the Spectacle Factory, and it's my job to pair you with your perfect pair of glasses. Although there never really is just one perfect pair of glasses, and it's all about building a collection, or an eyewear wardrobe as I like to call it, over time, so that you have options. We'll be seeing which collections are best, and which pairs need improvement, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun with that along the way. So first up, we have Linton, amazing, lovely guy, and has the most incredible voice, and I mean like literally he's a professional vocal artist. If you need a voiceover, Linton is your guy. His brand is Vocal Velvet. And this video is not, for making plugs, but I'm just saying, I speak to people all over the world. Not only have you guys been submitting pictures, but also a brief description of what you think of your own eyewear wardrobe. So here we have 5 pairs, and clearly it gets better lower down because that first pair, not a huge fan. The second pair is better. It's a little bit more of an adventurous shape. Third pair is the pair that we made for you, so I guess I might be biased, but that JF ray with the cool quirky shape and the sweet violet tint, which is designed purely for your computer use, I think is the best one of the bunch. The yellow tint is really nice as well. Yellow is a really difficult lens color to pull off. I mean, I've been working on a video at the moment about computer glasses, and I got a yellow tint myself. I don't think it looks great on me, but I can definitely imagine that it would look great on Linton. And then of course, the Barton Prairie Domino in the best color, the Midnight Blue. Not a bad start to a collection, to be fair. I think maybe there's room for a new daily pair of glasses in there that's just a little bit of a step up. And I think that Armani pair at the top, not for me. Sorry, Linton. It says that you're looking for a rimless pair next, potentially the Barton Prairie rimless. Yeah, I think that is clearly the way to go because your collection leans towards bold. You've got the one JF ray minimalistic frame, and I think it might be good to add another that's along those lines, maybe a Reykjavik eyes or a rimless frame, something like that. Okay, next up, we've got Matt from California. Been collecting Lunar and Makita frames over the last 8 years, and he discovered Lunar through Steve Jobs. I've just come back from Hong Kong, and in Hong Kong there was a store that I visited because, I can't help myself. I go around all the optical stores. And one of them had a lovely little display with a Lunar frame and the Steve Jobs biography or autobiography. It was a book about Steve Jobs. And I thought that was a really nice way to display it. It is about the story behind the glasses. And that's really what I like to bring to you through these videos. All my frames are fitted with Zeiss lenses. Love it. My sunglasses are mainly various tints of green. Green is the most versatile color for sunglasses, but it's probably time to branch out on that. And he loves mixing vintage and modern styles. That is a really good philosophy because so many people get stuck in a rut in terms of the styles that they wear. They tend to lean one way or another. I think you can have an appreciation for the past and an appreciation of modernity at the same time. So looking at the frames themselves, I mean, they're all more or less round apart from that one Makita pair. So I think there's definitely room for improvement there. Maybe try to branch out into geometric shapes. I tend to find that they work for anyone who can wear round frames. Definitely a geometric shape, where it's like, well, like I'm wearing in the Alvar. And the sunglasses, definitely we can incorporate some more color there. Not only will more colors give you a bit more variety aesthetically, but also functionally as well, because there are certain other colors that can enhance your vision in certain situations, like driving, for example, or wearing in like moderate bright light conditions where green might be a little bit too dark. Obviously all super high quality frames. Makita and Lunar are great brands. I also see a gold edition Reykjavik eyes sneaking its way in there as well. And you say that you'd like to add a Cartier or an Even Realities pair next. You definitely like the aesthetic of the Even Realities. I'm pretty certain of that. It's got that techie look, but it also has a little bit of history with the Panto shape, and obviously most of your glasses are that shape. And Cartier, I mean, love to help you design a Cartier next. Next we've got Lindsay. Now, Lindsay's a local client, had a lot of trouble with his eyes and his vision over the last year or two, which has been really unfortunate for him. And you just, sometimes in life you just think, why do these things happen to the best people? It's true, isn't it? But now I'm happy to say that his eyes seem to have settled, and I'm so happy for him. And he wrote us the loveliest card after we'd looked after him, which meant the world to us, honestly. I mean, here, look at those 3 pairs. We've got 2 Barton Prairie Nortons, one of the ultimate round acetate frames, and then the star of the show, the Luca de Stale in the blue cobalt goat leather. I remember choosing that pair with him and how excited I was on that day. I mean, look at them with the blue tint, just perfect. This is obviously a relatively small collection compared to some of the others. We've got the blue adaptive sun sunglasses, which pretty much cover most use cases for sunglasses. We've got an office lens pair because he spends a lot of time on the computer. And we've got a general use smart life pair. And he's got 3 awesome frames that all look great on him. Then we have Samuel. So Samuel, a friend from Australia, fellow optician. And I mean, that's the ultimate compliment when an optician comes to you for their glasses. Like, that meant a lot to me, Samuel. But he has great taste himself, and most of these pairs here he has spec'd on his own. We keep in a dialogue and I give him my opinion every so often, but he has great taste himself. I mean, just look at that Gotti. The Reykjavik Eyes Gotti acetate with the double bridge, the blue adaptive sun again. I mean, you're seeing a theme here. Blue adaptive sun just always steals the show, with ruby flash coating in this case. An Alvar, just like I'm wearing myself. A Magma Orange pair, that amazing JF Ray. I forget the model number of it. It's the 3D printed one in the incredible shape. I mean, that is a great collection. Oh, and let's not forget the Gast Segno with Sweet Violet. Samuel, really, really nice collection. Wants to add some rimless pieces. Well, yeah, we designed a Gast rimless for your mum, and I know she was really happy with those. So I think a rimless frame for you, we could have a lot of fun playing with that. And good luck in your career because you really deserve it. You're one of the good guys. Next up, Michael. I'm just going to sound like a broken record. What makes me love my job is meeting real people, whether that's in store or virtually, helping them to have the best life, because your glasses do affect your quality of life. They affect how everyone sees you and perceives you, and they affect how you perceive everything else. That's why I'm so passionate about this. But again, Michael, the nicest guy. Thank you so much for the gifts you brought me. Again, a relatively small collection compared to others, but it ticks so many boxes, and that is sometimes a really fun challenge. How much can we get out of 3 pairs? Here we've got the Barton Pereira Harold, the frame of the year for 2022, I think it was, with Magma Orange sun clip. And given that Michael lives in Scotland, which is not the sunniest place, Magma Orange is ideal for those conditions. If you're anyone who drives in bad weather, basically, you want Magma Orange, trust me. Then we've got the Arlem New York with that same amber custom tint that I adore myself and you guys adored in the Paris video. And the Robert LaRoche Carlos it is, I think. If you're watching this video and you don't own a Robert LaRoche pair, it's one pair, probably the most underrated brand at the moment. It's one frame you should really add to your collection, trust me. Everyone's going mad for JMM and Jacques-Marie Mage, beautiful glasses. I have no problem with them. In fact, I think they're awesome. But Robert LaRoche give you that same aesthetic, being a little bit more understated and much more niche than Jacques-Marie Mage, which are really common nowadays. Pretty much the same build quality, albeit made in Italy, not quite the same level as made in Japan, but honestly, they're not far off either. If you held a pair in your hands, you'd see what I mean. You'd like to add an industrial fuse with Sweet Violet tint. Yeah, trust me, you won't go wrong with that. I've done that for a few clients now, and those two just seem to be a really nice match together. Possibly a driving specific pair too. Well, I don't think that's as much of a priority because you've got the Magma Orange, but you've also mentioned adaptive sun there, and yeah, I think that would be a really good option. If you choose something like the brown polarized adaptive sun, they're actually really good for driving and make a great pair of sunglasses outside of the car as well. That's probably the one I would suggest for you. But that is just the coolest 3-pair eyewear wardrobe, and I know you've already got some more on the way. Now we've got Anson. I had the pleasure of meeting Anson when I was in Hong Kong. He reached out to me saying, if you're here, let's meet up. We hung out, and I was so glad that we did. It was probably the highlight of my trip, honestly. Meeting someone who has such good taste, but also passion for eyewear, and one of the most versatile eyewear wardrobes that I've come across. Is actually inspiring to me, so it's not often that I can say that. So, where to start with your collection? Because I could probably do a whole video talking about it, so that's going to make it really difficult for me. Suffice it to say, there's an emphasis towards minimalism. Anson definitely favors titanium frames and generally rounder frames, but not exclusively. He's one of the few people that I've met that owns Hapta, which is a brand I've talked about a couple of times, super, super niche. Their frames are made from fabric, handmade in Italy, very nice glasses. It's a brand that I would love to stock here and hopefully we'll do one day. Well, there's always another brand that I just think, okay, we should probably do that instead. I should probably be sensible. We went out for lunch and Anson was wearing this pair with the mirror finish. And it reminded me, I get people who complain about certain flash coatings being too mirrored. And actually, if you look at yourself objectively, it's such an awesome look. I was really jealous of this look, and I think it's something I need to add to my own personal eyewear wardrobe. It must make you feel so shielded, but your eyes are still just visible enough that you can still hold a conversation and not appear rude. That pair I wanted for myself. This one, what is this? That is a pretty sick acetate. And his favorite pair is the Zeiss Adaptive Sun Blue with diamond. I mean, you're seeing a theme. Adaptive Sun Blue is such a great option to have. And of course, I'm working on your Reykjavik Eyes Alba with custom shape, so that's your next pair. Tamid, oh Tamid. So I only just met Tamid, a doctor from the US. You know how sometimes you just speak to someone and they just have that kindness in the voice? That's what I got from Tamid. And his glasses don't necessarily reflect that, because these are badass glasses. Every single pair has such a high level of style and personality. And I guess you have to be so compassionate doing that job, but your eyewear can be a showcase of that other side of you that is more just outgoing and cool. We worked on the Gast rimless, and we're working on another pair for him at the moment. I think it fits really nicely within your collection. I love those two JFRA Hideo Kojima frames, and of course there's JFRA 3032 in orange, one of the best, coolest frames out there. The bi-gradient blue to yellow, not my taste, honestly. I feel that's a little bit lollipoppy. The Masanaga 100 may be the best black acetate square frame there is. I featured that in a recent video. Really nice collection. Where I would like you to go with this is maybe adding more colourful tints. Apart from a couple of pairs, these are all very neutral tints. I think that's probably the next step in your collection. Now Karen, and this is the first female submission on the list. Really good to hear from you. Karen flew all the way from Germany. I mean, she is eclectic, let's say. She's a very colourful personality, and I mean that in the most positive way, and her glasses are reflected in that. If you look at the brands that she gravitates towards, we have Luca de Stel, Modo, but mostly JFRA. My own personal favourite eyewear brand, glad that it is for you as well, with a sprinkling of like JFRA, Walter & Herbert, Barton Prera in there as well. Now, when you see the glasses in holistically like this, you can see there is probably a bit too much weight towards round, and we should probably start to experiment with slightly different shapes, maybe more geometric, like I mentioned earlier. I love that you have that same one-of-a-kind Modo Isola that I have myself. It was amazing to customize that for you, and the amber gradient tint in the Luca de Stel really ties in perfectly with the leather. But overall, I mean, this is a really nice collection. Every pair more or less is nice. Don't like those Titan Flex in the corner. It's just not on the level of everything else. Neither is Oakley. I'm sure you already know that. There's a few Barton Prera Nortons there as well. Really nice collection. I mean, just look at all those tints on the left-hand side. Very, very beautiful. And a magma orange to finish it off. Next is Edward, and I can tell from his description, JMM and Cartier, this is going to be an extravagant collection, because those are the two brands really that do high luxury eyewear the best. You could maybe put Maybach in that category as well, and maybe one or two others, but I mean, for a four-piece eyewear wardrobe, this is awesome. You've got the bold acetate look nailed, and you've got the cool rimless with custom shape look nailed as well. The two opposite ends of the spectrum. Is so good to see someone who can do both equally and feel confident in both. And I'm really intrigued by this second shape. Okay, the first one is a bit more typical. This second one is unlike any shape I have seen before. I really like it, but I'd be interested to see how that looks on, because I struggle to visualize that myself. If anything, where you're lacking is with the tints in the rimless, because probably it should be the other way around. Like, they would benefit from the tint more. And I can see that the Cartiers have transitions, which is fair enough, but maybe combine that transitions with a base tint, it would look better, or at least a flash coating or something like that. And you'd like to add a wired or metal frame with a more playful tint next. Definitely. What you want is the Industrial Fuse collection. Trust me, that would fit so nicely within that space, because it would be halfway in between your two different looks, and that would really help to complete your collection. Industrial Fuse, trust me, because it's got that luxury aesthetic. They are probably the brand that does that best. Maybe you could argue for Masanaga or Matsuda, but the Fuse is the most niche, and probably the one I would go with. Maybe Masanaga. Nah, it's tough, but yeah. Agnes, one of my lovely clients from Scandinavia, and another female contribution, which I'm really grateful for. Tell us about your eyewear wardrobe, every single pair from the Spectacle Factory, as you can see. Thank you for your support, and also one of our biggest commenters, I really appreciate that as well. And each pair of your glasses has been made with such love, and I hope you can feel that when you wear them. Very, very proud of your collection, and there's so much to unpack. There's the Reykjavik eyes, gorgeous. The Cartiers, sumptuous with the pink and purple. The Adaptive Sun Blue again, the Magma Orange in the Reykjavik, of course, the oversized Chloes, I mean, they're massive, but they are nice. And then the Re-Ace collection, those very limited edition pieces. I'm glad that you've got one of those. And again, there's a bit of variety there with thin metal oversized styles. Well, they're all oversized, but thin metal styles and acetate styles. Love it, love it, love it. And I love your enthusiasm for tints. Thank you so much for trusting me with that, and I know you enjoy wearing all of those pairs. Andrew, a client who drove quite a long time to see us, within the UK though, and we created him a whole new eyewear wardrobe from scratch. That is one of the biggest pleasures I have. That sounds so weird. It's one of the things I have most fun with, is creating a new collection of glasses for someone. It's almost like a fresh start in their life when you do that. It's so transformative. And I think all pairs came out well. We've got the Reykjavik eyes, obviously, the Fuller, the Walter and Herbert with Adaptive Sun, very niche, very cool aviator that is extremely rare. And then, of course, those McLarens with the drive-safe lenses. Very nice starter eyewear wardrobe. I think it'd be exciting to add to that next time. You're overdue an eye test, he says, and he's going to bring his partner. Yes, let's do it. In the home straight now, and Paul, saw him only recently. It's his second visit to us. Again, came all the way across the country to see us. It's so humbling when people choose to do that. He did get a new pair of Gast from us, which we're still working on. This new Hublot that you've sent a picture of the stock version, we've just finished it. I'm gonna go get it. You're gonna see it for the first time on camera. Check this out. One of the most difficult, challenging projects we've ever worked on, and I'm excited for you to see it first on this video. It's still got the print marks on, those are going to come off, but we need those because they need to go through their final QC. But this was so difficult to manufacture. What we have is a lens that sits in between two separate frames, which are bolted together. And the trouble is that the stock version of this has a very, very thin lens, which is obviously not viable with a prescription. So we had to replace the screws, we had to apply bolts to the end, and in the end, we made it happen. I love the way that the lens overlaps the frame. I mean, this is a mad pair of glasses. Let me put it on for you. It's not like my own personal taste. For someone who's a bit quirky like you, Paul, I think it suits him down to the ground. What an amazing addition to his collection. Very, very proud of that one. His collection overall is solid as well. There's a bit of room for more minimalistic frames in there, but I know you like your bold looks, so you know, you do you go with that. I love it. The Wally from LA Works is probably the signature piece for you, I think. Graham, oh my God, I'm kind of scared to look at this. Because Graham has the biggest eyewear collection that well, we have two customers actually, Graham and one other, and those two have an enormous array of glasses. They are true collectors, like on a different level. These glasses ooze personality. He's a huge enthusiast for Teo and Anna Valatan, two of the most extraordinary creative brands in eyewear history. But he also has his JMMs, he's got Reykjavik, he's got every brand basically. We recently customized a lot of them, I won't say all of them, but a lot of them with these amazing custom tints. And you know, earlier in the video I was saying how certain collections lacked a bit of variety in the colors. You definitely can't say that about Graham's collection. He has everything from red to amber to blue, green, sweet violet, magma orange, and a lot of these are photochromic as well. That is something we can do. We can create any combination really of colourful tint and photochromic. And Graham came to us because he was disappointed with other optical stores that he'd visited who told him they were going to do tints and they just didn't have the vividness of the tints that we showcase here. I put a lot of work into the tints we make. I don't believe there's anybody in the world who creates the same colours that we do. We really, really push and push for every customer to get it right. And sometimes that takes months because sometimes we start again, you know, and I'm not afraid to do that to get this result. This almost leaves me lost for words because, yeah, his collection is bigger than mine. Really chilled to deal with, really pleasant to deal with. We just sit and we just chat about glasses for a couple of hours. It's so fun, and I'm so grateful for people like you that make my job so fulfilling and so easy, really. because I just get to be creative with you. That's what really the best eyewear is about, is being creative and making something new, and we've done that with so many of your pairs. Next up is Lamb. Let's take a look through your collection. Oh, this is nice, this is nice. So we've got Oliver Peoples in there. We've got a couple of, I would say, pretty ordinary rimless, and that's the risk with rimless, is if you don't make the tint or the shape interesting, you end up with a kind of old-fashioned pair of glasses. No offense. The top left pair, not keen on. I kind of like that Clubmaster style sunglass, and I really like the metalwork on those the bottom two right pairs. What are they? Interesting. And Oliver Peoples, like, it's not a brand that I love, neither is Dieter, but you have to appreciate the history with those brands. They do have a level of cool factor, and Oliver Peoples recently I've been getting, and Dieter actually, both those brands have been getting better in quality. I criticised them a couple of years ago. I don't know if they saw that or if they care, but they certainly have improved since then. It consists mostly of pieces that I found on discount due to defects. Good for you. Having nice glasses is not about spending loads of money either. You can either choose inexpensive brands like Eco Eyewear, like Gast, or you can find bargains. And you know, I'm all for that. He wants to add pieces from historical Japanese brands, Masnaga, Matsuda, Ivan, etc., as well as pieces from France, Harlem, Geoffrey, Le Castel, Cartier, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, that would be the way to go next, definitely. A Japanese brand, I would vote for Masanaga, and a French brand, I think Geoffrey would fit really nicely in your collection, to be honest, because it would give you a completely different aesthetic. It's a nice collection with room for improvement. I think you're aware of that, and you've done really well shopping on a bargain. I would like to see you branch out maybe to rounder shapes in your opticals, though. I think that is room for improvement. There's a bit too much rectangular and square going on for my liking. Getting close to the end now. Wenji. Okay, Wenji, let's see. Another non-client, which is fine. I always got a little video to play.
Which is the model number and all outdoorsmen. So I love G15 lenses. Green is my favorite color, and that's why I always prefer G15 lenses.
I like it. Sorry, Wenji, I like the cable ends on that Ray-Ban frame. I can appreciate that.
And they are in gray lenses.
Another Ray-Ban. I mean, come on, you can do one Ray-Ban, but let's not do too many here. What else we got?
Lenses from Costco. Really cool frame.
That's a square, yeah, that's square acetate.
And I got 1.67 high index lenses from Costco. Really cool frame.
It is. Having good glasses is not just about the frames, but it's also about the lenses as well. Both are equally important. If you're used to Costco lenses, I would encourage you to try a more advanced lens. You don't have to spend loads. You can get like a Clearview stock lens or a Hoya stock lens for not that much money, and you'd probably notice a significant improvement in your clarity. I'd love you to try that and let me know what you think. The square frames, I think it's a little bit generic. No offense, I'm just trying to tell you where you could improve. They're a little bit like, yeah, generic in the style. What else we got?
With this bayonet temple, I mean, this is just cool.
I agree. I think that's a Randolph pair, right?
Randolph Engineering. They're American made. They're made in USA.
Yes, nice, nice. That pair, right? Okay, what I want you to do with that pair is put a photochromic lens in and wear it as both glasses and sunglasses, because it's too nice to just be limited to sunglasses.
Mariana Trench 500. I have not gotten prescription lensing in this just yet, but yeah, I love the tortoiseshell.
I like that too. I like that it's really oversized. I think that is an upgrade over your current square frames. I'd love to work on the lenses for that if you want me to.
Sporo X. They're in espresso tortoiseshell. It just screams California. It screams just ultimately cool frame.
Is this Rain? Rain, yeah. I was checking out them recently. I thought aesthetically really great. I just felt like there was a little bit lacking in the quality. But again, this pair is too nice to be just a sunglass. Get it photochromic. Make the most of it. This pair, your Rain and your Randolph, that is what you should do. But Wenji, I love your energy. Thank you for sharing a video. That was actually really cute to watch. Close to the end now. Andrew. Okay, I met Andrew earlier this year. We have a lot in common. We both do a lot of traveling. I was pretty proud of this one. Andrew has a very classy look, very Bruno Cucinelli kind of thing, like luxurious but very understated. Very well-dressed guy. He doesn't really need prescription glasses, so these are glasses just to add to his aesthetic. I love that. So we had, I mean, where to start here? So we added in the Walter & Herbert limited edition. I forget what that one's called. I forget because they're so rare. They're only one of 100. I've forgotten the name. Sorry, forgive me. But beautiful acetate front, titanium temples, super classic, but looks extraordinarily luxurious. The Luca di Stale, I think, is the best pair in your collection, followed closely by that industrial fuse at the bottom. Both made in the Luca di Stale workshop, of course. Your Barton Pereira Cecil. I love it in that colour, that khaki green. It's to die for. There's a couple of Tom Fords in there. Those are nasty, Andrew. Please get rid of those. They don't do you justice. They're too, having that big T is, I think that's not you. Just personally, the Carrera, that was a gift from me to you, and doesn't it look amazing with the sunset violet lenses? That is a great tint for driving. And the Maui Jim we added at the end. And of course, let's not forget the Reykjavik Eyes Call with the adaptive sun lenses. Now, where I think you could add to this is with another pair of adaptive sun in blue. I think that would be the next pair to add. What do you think though? What have you said? Always open for new inspirations, but as recent newbie, I am for the current time being enjoying what I have. Yeah, I mean, you just got all these pairs. You definitely don't need to add anything yet. But when you're ready, let's do an adaptive sun blue pair. And we're now on to our last submission. And we saved arguably the best till last because Cash has an unbelievable collection of glasses. I wonder if he's going to showcase all of these today. Let's take a look. Well, we've got an initial 10, and that initial 10, I mean, wow. There is a lot of money in that picture, let me tell you. We've got Cartier, we've got Kuberraum, we've got some buffalo horn handmade frames. We've got an industrial Springe in there too. We've got a Tom Ford, it doesn't belong. Let's not do that next time, Cash. And you've got also that, was it D squared? Which I kind of like, but it doesn't really match up to the rest of your collection. I mean, just look at the custom shapes in the Cartier and the Kuberraum. I was very proud of the work we did on those, especially with the faceting. And then we get onto your Jacques Marie Mage pieces, and that's a whole other collection almost in and of itself. You have one of the biggest JMM collections that I've come across. But I mean, just look at the colors of both the acetates and the tints, and look at how they play off each other. I feel like the crystal one maybe does need a tint more. I feel like the rest are okay. And what else is there to say? The beautiful, beautiful bold frames. Look at the way they shine in the photograph even. Just very, very impressive. And I'm looking forward to seeing you soon because I know you're going to be coming down shortly. Looking forward to that and seeing where we go next, because when you've got a collection that good, it just gets harder and harder to add more good pieces that have a niche. It's like, where do you go from there? We'll see. I'm sure we can do it. What do you think? Whose eyewear wardrobe do you like best? I would love to know. Let me know in the comment section below. Let us know what pieces you have in your collection in the comments as well. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give us a like. Make sure you share it. If you know an eyewear enthusiast, someone who's got a great collection of glasses, share this video with them. And make sure you're subscribed for more of the best eyewear content on the internet. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.